All right, guys, so today I'm gonna break down the whole process and the experience that I went through training for Frontier. Now, the program is 3 weeks and a half, and just as a disclaimer, I just wanna let you guys know that I don't represent Frontier in any shape, way, or form. This is based off my own personal experience, my own personal thoughts. You're probably watching this video because you're gonna be going to class pretty soon, and you're gonna be earning your wings to be a Frontier flight attendant, and I'm happy for you. You're gonna get an email. Within that email, 2 weeks prior to your start date, you're gonna get a study guide. Now, keyword, study guide, guys. As soon as you see that study guide title on that email, open it immediately, download it, start studying immediately. I say that because I felt like 2 weeks just wasn't enough. And when I got the email, I was out in Panama on a vacation, so I didn't start studying right away. I did open the email later on that night, and I realized, wow, that's a lot of pages. It's basically the welcoming packet to training class, right? So make sure you guys open up the email, take a couple hours to sit down, really go through the material, and that same day, guys, just start studying right away, right away. I keep on saying this because I want you guys to pass. Now, the question is, David, did you pass? No, I didn't pass, but I've been humbled by the experience, and because I've gained so much insight within that week that I was there, I wanted to share with you guys to kind of prep you, mentally prepare you, so that you guys can go there and just kill it. Because I made a few mistakes that I'm going to share with you guys, and I don't want you to make the same exact mistakes and then be in the same boat that I was in, because it's not fun. All right, so 2 weeks, you will get your study guide prior to your start date of class. Remember, 2 weeks prior. So you have 2 weeks to study, guys, and study, okay? So the test is broken down into 2 different parts, okay? One's gonna be oral. It's an oral exam. And what that consists of, it's gonna be, they'll give you an announcement to remember, okay? That announcement, I don't know if it's gonna be the same time every class around, but it is gonna be an announcement that you would announce over in the PA system. And our announcement was about 9 sections, so it was about like a 3-minute long. So you have to remember word per word and then rehearse that in front of the instructor, the recruiter, whatever you want to call them. And every time you get a word wrong within that section that you're announcing, they deduct points. Keep in mind, you have to score a 90% or higher all the time. Every single test, 90% or higher. Some of you guys already know that because they discussed that on the day that they interviewed you. And you got the CJO, which was really exciting. You were pumped. But guess what? Just when you thought you made it, there's more. And really, guys, I know you got really excited when you got that CJO, as I was. And then when the study guide came in, I was like, this is going to be a lot more difficult than I anticipated. It's true. Okay, so first part of the test, oral exam. Second part of the test is a written exam. Now, the written exam is as difficult as the oral exam, at least for me, okay? Because you're gonna have to remember over 100 airport codes, and what I mean by that, airport city codes is, for example, LAX, Los Angeles, California, LAS, Las Vegas, Nevada. And then there's other codes you're like, what? I didn't know that stood for that. One would be like MCO. Do I even remember that? MCO, Orlando, Florida. And there's no connection to it. Like, how do you associate those, right? So you're gonna have to learn all those codes. So when you take the test, you don't get any points deducted for not knowing your airport codes. And another portion of the written test is gonna be how to convert 12-hour clock to a 24-hour military time. You guys gotta know how to convert those times, okay? I'll give you an example. So 3 p.m., right, would be 1,400 hours. No, I lied. 3 p.m. would be 1,500 hours. Just like 5 p.m. would be 1,700 hours. I'm not the greatest student, but at least I'm sharing all this with you guys, right? Because I want you guys to make it all the way to the top, graduate, and then pin those wings onto your justices area where your heart is. Got it? Cool. Another huge part is vocabulary, terms. For example, FA, flight attendant, right? PIC, pilot in command, and so on and so forth. And there's about, I want to say easily over 50 terms you have to learn. I'm sure there's well over 50. So that's another portion. And then there is, another section within the written exam. They give you about 20 airlines, and you're supposed to know which each acronym represents. AA, American Airline. UA, United Airline. So on and so forth. F9, Frontier. Study that. And while this video is already at 8 minutes, and I barely started covering both tests. So I don't know if I'm going to continue or break it down into 2 videos. You know what? Let's continue. Let's just roll with it. Let's continue with it. What's important is that you pass that test and that you prepare yourself for the worst case scenario, right? And let me tell you, while you're there, it's super intense. Okay, so you get to the testing hotel. You're gonna be there for 3 weeks and a half. Okay. Now the first night you get there, you're gonna go to your room. Some people got there really early in the day and they got to meet their roommate. I got there really late with another, was it like about 5 other flight attendants or future flight attendants, to be right. We checked in late, so when we got to the room, our roommates were already there. Everyone gets a roommate. Some people didn't get roommates in the very beginning, but eventually they ended up with the roommate. Okay, there's an individual who has a common goal just like me. He wants to be a flight attendant just like me. We're gonna work as a team, and we're gonna support and help each other through this process. That's the mentality you have to go in with. You have to be positive. You have to be friendly. You have to have all those characteristics that's gonna make a perfect flight attendant. And a flight attendant consists of lots of characteristics. I'm talking about from confidence, quick thinking, and so on and so forth. You guys made it this far, you guys already got it going on, all right? Because you guys, they selected you. Out of everyone, out of over 40,000 people, they selected you, so that means you are gonna make it, guys. You're gonna make it, okay? Now, the very next day is test day. Yes, right away, they kick it off with the test. Now, you're gonna be tested on the oral exam, which I discussed earlier in the video, and 2, the written exam. Okay, guys? Now, very important, you must pass those 2. Now, it's not mandatory, but I highly recommend that you pass those 2, because if you fail one, yes, you can do a retake, but guess what? You can only do a retake 1 time throughout the whole 3 weeks and a half of testing. So why would you want to use up your lifeline, I call it a lifeline, for one of these 2 tests if the tests you're going to be taking are going to be a lot more difficult, right? So yes, I failed one of them. I failed the written exam. I passed the oral exam, failed the written exam. So the very next day, we have what's called a retake. And if you don't pass your retake after you failed 1 test, meaning you scored 90% or lower, I should elaborate on that. Every test that you take, you have to score 90% or higher. Every single test that you take, okay? Keep that in mind. It's a pretty high percentage. Okay, guys, so 90% higher, you pass. So I did my retake, passed it, but now I don't have no more lifelines left. So every test moving forward, I was a wreck. I was so nervous. Every time that I would take a test, I would tell myself, well, if I don't pass this test, I'm fine with it. But I really hope I pass this test because I'm already out here and, you know, I want to proceed and make sure that I earn my wings, guys. That wasn't the case. But like I said, it's totally fine because now I'm here sharing this with you guys, right? Now, breaks and meals. Every hour you get a 10-minute break and then you get 1 lunch. You study, well, you're in class 6 days a week. Sunday is a rest day. But for people like me that stuff sometimes just doesn't stick as easily, use every minute of your life while you're there to study. I'm talking about like every minute. For example, my roommate, lights off are at 10 p.m. My roommate fell asleep like around 10:30. My roommate actually was pretty smart. Like he would get the stuff like really easily. I'm like, damn, that's dope. And me being considerate, I didn't want to study late through the night and have the lights on. So he would catch me studying in the restroom while he was asleep. You know, that way the lights don't bother him. So we want to be considerate. And that's just who I am, right? And yeah, things like that. Now, we talked about the first day of class, which, you know, passed both tests. And You're probably thinking like, well, how do they divide these two tests? Do you guys test in groups? How does that work out? I'll explain. So, yes, you're broken down into several groups. One group stays behind and takes the written, and a second group goes off to another room where you're going to be forming a line, and there's going to be about 5 instructors in that humongous room, and each instructor comes out, pulls a FA trainee, flight attendant trainee, and you guys go on a corner of the room, and you guys rehearse your speech, and they sit down, and they have this paper that it's word per word, and they grade you to make sure you're hitting all the points that are essential. So keep in mind that you should go in there thinking every single word here counts, because at the end of the day, it really, really does. Sometimes they give you some room for error, like, okay, well, you could sub that word for that, but don't have that mentality, guys, because that'll F you over. I mean it. Really. Okay, so that's going to be part of the oral, and then they tell you right there and then, like, congratulations, you passed, or unfortunately, you failed, so you can do a retake. Okay. Other part, the written exam, also, they'll tell you right there and then. You hand it when you're done doing your written exam, you hand it over, you walk outside, they're grading it right there on the spot. They call you over, they tell you congratulations, you passed, or you have to retake. Now, unfortunately, guys, there were students on the very first day of test day that got sent home. You don't want it to be you. I don't want it to be you. Your family, your friends don't want it to be you. And this is why I put this video together, because it was sad to see people go on the first day because they just didn't make it. And they didn't pass their oral exam and their written exam on the same day, which means they can't retake, right? Because you already missed 2 tests on the very first day. So about 15 people, guys, about 15 wonderful people got sent home that day. It was sad because some of those people that got sent home were the same people I got conditional job offers with. So we had already had this bond, right? This common goal. We're striving for the same thing, and then to see them kind of just, leave that chapter in their life, it sucks, yo. It does. But these people are strong, and I'm sure they're gonna continue going down that path of a flight attendant, being in that flight attendant world. I have confidence in all of them, and I have confidence in you. Sorry, guys. Don't be that person. And if you are, hey, you gained experience, and you're gonna come back even stronger. I believe in you, and I believe in me. All right? So I was there for about 4 or 5 days. So then that same day you do testing, you'll see the class get smaller. And that's because most people, not most, but a lot of people got sent home. They kick you off. They start going over the material. Boom, boom, boom. You got to take notes. They're going to issue you a tablet. And within that tablet, there's also study guides within that tablet. You can jump ahead. Do not recommend it, because you're going to realize there's no need to jump ahead. I can barely keep up with the current lecture and material that they're putting out. They're going to give you a tablet. They're going to give you a FAM, Flight Attendant Manual. That's going to be your Bible while you're there, guys, okay? All the answers are in your Bible, in your FAM, Flight Attendant Manual. They're going to issue you that, and they're going to give you guys, what else are they going to give you guys? You also get your, like a little card with your name and like little wings. Those are your wings. Always take those to class, or you lose major points. So I'm going to cut this video now. I am going to release the second part. And before I release the second part of the video, I'm going to give it probably a week to maybe give you guys time to actually come across this video and hit me up with some questions in the comments. So on the second video that I make, not only am I sharing more information as far as my 4 days after the first day of class, but also have time to answer some of the questions that you guys have for me, guys. So stay up, stay positive, stay true to yourself, be happy, live in the now, enjoy the moment. Don't let the future stress you out. Just focus on what you can do now, and you're gonna be amazing, guys. It was nice talking to you all, and I'll catch you guys later, all right? Peace.